in the game. I can't do anything but share this later, maybe. I don't even know if anyone's in here, but we're on. So I saw a great series between the Tigers and the Guardians. Now I want to see if I can get comments in here somehow, but I think there's a way if anyone's actually in here to find out. Yeah. Well, I don't know if anyone is, but if they are, I just want to say it's been a crazy few days getting the three in Cleveland. I know everyone wants to talk about the Yankees, and obviously we will. But like Cam Schlittler is outstanding. I cannot believe he made MLB history tonight. The only postseason pitcher in MLB history in his first start. He goes eight scoreless. He strikes out 12 batters and no walks, and that's never happened before. So honestly speaking, that is your game three starter going forward without question. And he put the Yankees in a great spot because he saved the bullpen at that's when needed saving. Although Bednar only pitched three in a row, is the only guy, but he's going to get a day off and all hands on deck in the playoffs, so he'll be good to go Saturday. So the whole bullpen's going to be good Saturday. Then you look at Toronto, they're going to go with Gausman. Okay. The Yankees are going to go with Luis Hill. Now, that puts them at a disadvantage, you would think. And it does, but the thing is that he's fresh now. He got to rest up, so will he be able to refocus and garner some good results? I mean, I think, to my knowledge, he's pitched relatively well against the Blue Jays without looking at anything. But like there has been some ups and downs, I think. Although he's had that with several other teams as well. Whoever's in here, thanks. I appreciate it. There's probably more on Twitter, but I can't see anything. So let me explain why I'm in this situation quick, and then we'll go forward because no one really cares. Um, I can't. I don't have Wi-Fi on my fucking computer. Oops. I don't have Wi-Fi on my computer. Um, my language. Sorry, I apologize. Whoever's watching didn't like that, but um, yeah, I don't have Wi-Fi on my computer in here. Like you have Bearable or whatever. No Wi-Fi, but the room's great. It's completely cool. But like having to use my phone to type stories is not the most fun thing in the world. But I digress. So I can't see anyone on Twitter. If you're commenting, it's not. Wait, I don't want the chat to be private. I want the public one. But I don't even know if anyone's in here. Whatever. Well, some people are, but I can't see it. Oh, now I could if anyone wanted to comment. But look, I think the Yankees, like I said, they're in a relatively good spot. And hey, they made history. And it's minor compared to what the Red Sox did some in 2004. But the Red Yankees are now the first team in the wild card era of 2022 to erase a 1-0 deficit in a best of three. So they did it. Now, the fake season happened twice in 2020, but people don't count that because like there was no ballpark factors or environment, so it was probably easier to do it. Um, I think like the reason why it's tough is it's such a quick series, like, and then you lose momentum quick, and like I feel like a lot of times the home team wins game one, and they just keep rolling. But yeah, so this won't be long because of difficulties with how the setup is, but I'll try for 30 minutes if I can maintain that. Um, the Yankees, like, they didn't have the best series offensively. It wasn't awful, wasn't great, but it was good enough. Their pitching was good for the most part, except Weaver. If we're gonna be critical here, Rodon was solid. I think he went what like 7-3 runs yesterday. You take that. Max Fried sensational. I don't know why he was pulled still. I don't care about the declining B or whatever, because he had no one on. I was asking for two more outs. You paid him over $200 million. He could use his off speeds if his velo's down. He could figure it out. He had no other base runner. And then Luke Weaver's not been great. So I'm worried about him in the next round. I really am. The Blue Jays have had his lunch a couple times. They've had Devin Williams' lunch a couple times. They even had Max Fried's number when he was going through that blister stuff. So the Blue Jays are a dangerous team. Don't let anyone tell you they're not. And they're not frauds. They are not. Now, are they the best team in the American League? No, I don't think so. I think it's the Yankees or the Mariners. Now the Tigers got some mojo back, and what happened with them today could be a dangerous sign of things to come because They needed that big inning. They needed to break through. They needed to get those runners in the scoring position. And they finally did it with Dingler hit that bomb. Winston Perez finally gets a hit, 2 runs. Torkelson, Green, Carpenter, the big three, they all delivered hits and RBIs today. So if the Tigers have the three of them going well at the same time, they're very tough to beat. I'd like to see more from Gleyber Torres. Hit the ball hard for an out today, but doesn't have much to show for it. Um, so that's what I'm looking at there. Now, Yankees are going to match up. I think the Blue Jays will probably go Bieber game 2. I'm going to look at your Savage or Bassett for 3. And then whoever doesn't do 3 gets 4. So for Yankees, it's very cut and dry, actually. If the schedule works the way I think it will, then this is how it goes. It's going to go Luis Hill on Saturday with a short leash, most likely with a fully rested bullpen. Then Sunday, you can do Freed because he pitched Tuesday, so he gets his 4 days rest that he needs. Then the same situation with Rodon, he actually will get an extra day because the off day, and he's good on extra rest. So that's good. He'll be pitching game 3 in the Bronx. And then you'll have Cam Schlittler rested from his epic beastly performance in the 4 spot. And I think that's a home run. But there is one problem with this theory. Do you want Luis Hill starting 2 games in a 5-game set? I don't know about that. Um, could you go back to freedom short days rest? I think you might be able. Well, actually, maybe it's normal. Let me think really quick. So they would play game 2 Sunday. You would have an off day. That's 1 day of rest. Then you would have game 3. It's 2 days. Then you would have game 4. That's 3. You have an off day. Yeah, I think you could. I think Max Free could return for a game 5. I'm pretty sure that works like that. Because I think that's what Scooble did last year. My memory serves me correct. Scooble pitched game 2, and then he pitched game 5. So I definitely think that the Yankees are in a good spot here. Their favorites, which surprises me because they're the lower seed. Is it just Vegas loving the Yankees? Is it just how they beat Boston? Is it the fact the Blue Jays are on Bo Bichette? I don't know. But I think they were like the second highest World Series team behind the Mariners. The Mariners are the top, and I actually do agree with that assessment. We'll see. Could the Tigers find something? Could they crack the Mariners? Well, the Mariners don't have a lot of rest. So I'm assuming for game 1, I actually didn't even write this late, but I wrote about Guardians and Tigers, a bunch of articles and stories out. You can check that out. But I think that if I looked at the situation there, I would say probably Gilbert or Kirby because Brian Woo's hurting with his pec or whatever. I think Wu was on the game 3 trajectory. So 1, 2 is going to be Kirby and Gilbert, and then whoever doesn't get 1 will get 2. And then Castillo's probably your 4, and that's pretty good. And the Tigers are going to, I don't know what they're going to do for game. I don't even know who they're going to start on Saturday because they only have 3 starting pitchers. Um, you saw what happened with Charlie Morton. Unfortunately, he's retired now, but I wish him the best. Jose Urquidy, they tried. I think he's washed. Bo Melton, do they start Bo Melton maybe? I mean, he did not pitch well yesterday, but he does have starters pedigree, but they have to build him back up. Or do they do an opener type thing with him? I don't even know. And after how he pitched last games, you want to start a game with him? I also don't know about that. But he really only made 1 mistake, I think. If I forgot what the score was. No, the Guardians beat them good. Never mind, it was 6-1, but it wasn't all Bo. Um, but it was a lot Bo. So like Tigers are in a tough spot with the rotation. Flaherty kind of picked them up today. Mize was not that good, really. Could have been better. Although they didn't really give him much wiggle room. Schoolboy was fantastic. Obviously, it's Schoolboy. He's always fantastic. And then their bullpen definitely showed up against the guards. That was big. Besides Bo Melton, but you can't have them all. So the Yankees, Red Sox. Red Sox, like I said to my friend today, and when he hears this, he'll know. The Red Sox are an average team when Garrett Crochet is not pitching. That's been the case all year. They showed it again tonight. They showed it again last night. Now, you can use the injury excuse for them. You could. And it's fair because you have Roman Anthony down, great young player, killed the Yankees, especially in that stadium. Marcelo Mayer to a lesser degree, great young player, not quite as good as Roman, obviously. He was down. Then you didn't have Lucas Giolito. That to me is big, but they didn't score any runs tonight. It doesn't matter if they threw Cy Young out there or Nolan Ryan. They weren't going to win tonight. So the Giolito injury doesn't mean much in retrospect. Um, yeah, so I'm excited to see what happens here. I am. The Brewers will play the Phillies. I mean, fuck. Damn it, sorry. The Brewers will play the Cubs. The Cubs beat the Padres. I didn't get to see much of that because it was the same time as the Tigers Guards full discretion. Interesting games though. Philly will play the Dodgers, and that's going to be the best series of all these potentially. No, I would say Yankees Blue Jays is the best AL series, and I'll definitely um Dodgers Phillies. Well, I think Cubs Brewers has that entertainment and central value, but I actually think the Brewers roll the Cubs. The Cubs are to me. I mean, I know they beat the Padres, but the Padres weren't that impressive to me. So the Padres are golfing now. There's 8 teams left. Red Sox are golfing. Guardians are golfing, and there's one more. Who am I missing out in the golf club? Guardians, Red Sox. Let's see, Reds. There we go. Reds and Padres. But more importantly for the Yankees, here's what they got the split Saturday and Sunday. Obviously, it goes without saying. Ben Bryce needs to play as much as possible. So does Jazz. So does Wells. So that means you shouldn't see too much of Golsey anymore, even though we had those 2 hits. Giancarlo, too, is gonna get it going a little bit in Toronto more, hopefully. And then for the Yankees, like Judge has to get Gosman because he owns Gosman. So he needs to show up. And the fact that Cam Schlittler, again, I gotta go back to the start of the year in Double A with the Somerset Patriots. I've seen him pitch before. 2 years ago, I saw him pitch in a playoff game, a different type of playoff game, a high A playoff game, and he was only throwing the low 90s. He didn't really impress me much. I was wrong, but the one thing that did catch my attention that day is his breaking stuff was pretty good. But he was, like I said, throwing low 90s. Well, he decided to gain 10 plus pounds of muscle 10 plus miles per hour on his fastball and just become a cyborg and freak of nature. So that's Cam Schlittler for you. And also, he grew up in an area. He went to school in Boston. Like, it was personal for him, and he showed it tonight. Those guys had no shot against him. That was excellent to watch as much as I was able to. I can't wait to turn on some more highlights of it, too. Like, that was sick. Like, hats off to Cam. Like, what a performance, what a time, what a moment. Season the line, and that's what he does. That kid's a star in the making, let me tell you. And he's going to be a staple in the Yankees rotation for a long time. Now, Volpe had a good series. Let's see if he can keep it going. Jazz woke up a little bit today. That was good to see. I think he can get going next series. Bellinger, I'm still looking for a little bit more. I know he did something today, but that home run is still eluding him. So we'll see what happens there. And then Grisham had that tough ending the other day. That game was tough with the Red Sox and Chapman, the bases loaded and all that. Like, um, in game 1, but the Yankees were fine. They were always going to be fine. They're always better than Boston as long as it's this current team. Like, the only issue I had against them playing Boston was Crochet. I was saying it for weeks. Same thing if it was Yankees Tigers, Scooble. When Scooble pitches, the Tigers can win any game he throws. He can make up for every deficiency the Tigers have. In a 3 game series, you might see him twice. In a 7 game, if you see him 3 times, then you got to get to him 1 to 3. Otherwise, he's just gonna run roughshod, and you have no chance. So I'm trying to think other lineup and bullpen stuff. I mean, Devin Williams decent. Fernando Cruz big outs yesterday, even though Story gave him a scare. And then um, Weaver's got to figure it out. Tim Hill's Tim Hill. We'll see if they shuffle anything their next round. I don't know. I think it's fine, I guess. I don't think Slater's needed, like I've been saying for a while. I'm happy to realize he's useless and he was not in the thing. Well, not like good enough to hit right now. I mean, I get it. They thought he could hit lefties. He's not doing it. I don't have time to figure for him to figure it out. Like, he's also never been in a situation like this. Oh, it was a Giant. I don't know. If, I don't know. I don't, he doesn't go that far back. Never mind. He's never been in a situation like this before in playoff baseball, and he didn't have a good time with the tenure with the Yankees so far. So it's not the right time to try him. JC can provide some defense if needed. So that's a good guy to have in there. That's why I said that. And if you can't see value in a good defensive catcher, then you're a moron. Very cut and dry. That's really all I have to say there. And you know who you are. So if you want to talk, we'll talk. But otherwise, I really don't care. In fact, I don't care at all. But um, we'll see how this goes. If I look through other stuff, I think, yeah, like Gresham we talked about Belly. Dominguez is barely going to play, unfortunately. I know it's like a tough time to get him in, but his growth has been stunted this year. Not great. How about, okay, before we go, we're going to give some flowers to Ryan McMahon. Ryan McMahon made an incredible play going into dugout. He's been starting to swing the bat a little bit better, too. It's a guy I was not in favor of because I really liked Eugenio Suarez, and I did some things with Suarez, interview with Suarez, too, but that's not like the point here. I just thought his power, his pop, like could have been a good balance set in our lineup because we need more right pop besides Judge and Jay. And but McMahon's a great defender. Maybe he's exactly what the Yankees needed. His bat's like league average, I guess, on a good day. But if he could get that a little bit better, then he's going to be good. And maybe the Yankees can get fix the bat, and then you have a really complete player because his defense is outstanding. He goes into the dugout today, into the dugout doesn't he catches it up. He didn't even care. No disregard for his body. Red Sox want to help him because they didn't want him to catch it. He makes the play. Is a cheater? That's not exactly. He didn't cut himself up, but the degree of difficulty and danger is pretty similar. And then what Gio did against Tampa when I was there all those years ago for the win and get in, which is funny because the Yankees sort of had a similar situation with the division, but they were going to be a playoff team this year. But this team, like I said, is way more equipped than that 2021 team. So yeah, McMahon, if he can get it going, it'll be huge. I feel like he can give Gosman some problems too, honestly. So we'll see how it goes. But um, thanks if whoever was in here. I don't really know. I'll try to figure that out later. Winding down here. I'll be on the road tomorrow. She'll be in Detroit for game 3, I suppose. And then I'm not sure anything else in between. But um, check me out, Julian Guilarte, subs to the channel. Everyone follow World Baseball Network and Latino Sports as well. Follow me and X at Julian Guardy 11. Insta is I botched it because I'm so tired. X is Julian Guardy 1. Insta is Julian Guardy 11. So thank you everyone. It's been a grind, but we continue the battle. Even though I'm not home in the trenches in theory, I'm still watching these games, I'm still paying attention, and I'm still want to see what this Yankees team could do. It's the last team standing in New York. So let's see what happens. Um, my prediction is we'll have some fun with this. I said Yankees in 5. I will go with, and I won't just automatically pick them because I did pick Mariners to win the World Series or make it. So I do think the Yankees will take this one though, at least against Toronto. I think there's several ways they could win it. I mean, if they could rectify it against Boston, who they played worse against, I don't see why they can't do it against Toronto. Playing in Toronto is going to be tough. The atmosphere they create is crazy. I got to give them credit. Canada baseball is pretty lit. They go hard out there as they should. They have a good team, good city that supports it. The ballpark's nice. It's close to like the CN Tower. There's some renovations I got to check out. So am I gonna go? Probably not, but you never know. It's possible. Uh, it's just like a lot of moving pieces there. I'm technically only gonna be like 4 hours away, but it's gonna take a lot to make all that happen. I think, but like I said, we'll see. I think, like I said, Volpe was in a good spot. Wells was that Wells hit in that jazz slide. Let's talk about that before I go. Make this even 20. What a play by Wells to hit that ball down the line. Wasn't that bad? And Jazz just go, 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 slide, make sure he's in there, head down, running. After what happened in game 1, he took his benching personally. Ben Rice took his benching personally, hit a bomb. That's exactly what you want to see. Those two will be playing at least 90% of the time going forward. Not all the times, probably after what happened. So you got to go down your best. Like you can't just be a match of slaves. You can't just be a splits slave. You can't just go with the binders as the computer. You know, AJ Hinch said something to me. Well, that was interesting today in the press room, and I feel like the Yankees don't do this. Hinch comes up with his plans. He uses his analytics. He does all that. But he said he's willing to deviate from the plan if he needs to. I don't know if the Yankees are willing to deviate from the plan if they need to. And that's what really struck a chord with me. And it's really something I'm going to talk about more as we go forward. We'll see. Because I feel like that Luke Weaver thing was scripted and it was the wrong idea. And we've seen that happen so many times in the playoffs. Nestor, Davey Garcia, freaking Mike Ford or Clint Frazier pinch hitting. Like, I don't know. It's a mess. But till next time, we'll take an off day tomorrow and then like